Uh-oh. Good evening and welcome to the regular business meeting of the Scarborough School Board of Education. Today is Thursday, November 18th, 2021. May I have the attendance, please?
Sure. Mrs. Giftis?
Here.
Ms. Casalonis?
Here.
Mr. Kelleher?
Here.
Ms. Leong?
Here.
Mrs. Lindstrom?
Here.
Mr. Peony Huff?
Here.
Mrs. Turner?
Here.
Ms. Giftis?
Here.
And Ms. Bertulia?
Thank you. Can everybody join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty.
All right, agenda item 4.0 or adjustments to the agenda. Do we have any?
One adjustment to the agenda for this evening. I've just got an additional slide to present in new business after the school board committee assignments, just a slide on staff vaccination rates. That I'd like to share.
So that'll be the new 7.2.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, agenda item 5.0 is fall sports recognition. So I will turn this over to you, Jeff.
All right, well, we have a pretty nice. There we go. Have a nice full house this evening for a lot of our fall athletes. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mike Legage, our athletic director, who's going to be also introducing all of our coaches and student athletes to recognize. We just had a super full season this year and just really excited to be able to recognize everyone who's been involved with our fall athletics this season.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bruno. I appreciate that and appreciate having us here today. And I am going to get right to it because we have all of our coaches here for each of our teams, and they're going to spend a few minutes talking to you a little bit about the season and introducing their student athletes who came tonight also. I appreciate everybody coming tonight, so thank you. And we'll start with Coach Murphy with the golf team.
Good evening. Golf, great season. But first I want to publicly thank the people that really helped Scarborough High School in the golf program, and that's Pam and Rick Lewis down in Willowdale and the Whiting family for allowing us to host matches and play and practice there day in and day out. They've been really terrific for the town, the school, and the kids for well over 33 years. Without them, we'd have a tough time having a golf team. I also want to thank Chris and Robin Trombley down to Prouts Neck. They also donated some time for the kids to play and practice on a tremendous spot, a great golf course. And also to Donnie Prout, who worked here at the high school, who's the owner of Pleasant Hill driving range, who allowed the kids to spend some quality time over to his driving range over to Pleasant Hill. So I can't thank those guys enough. And I know the kids really, really appreciate it. This year's edition was made up of 11 outstanding individuals. We had a tremendous season of record was 9-1. We were led by seniors, Alden Griffiths, Asa Buteau, TJ Laponis, and Catherine Gross. Great seniors, great leadership. They set the mark for the underclassmen and how to behave, how to play, and how to represent the school, the town, their families. A lot of compliments throughout the season from opponents on just our behavior, and that is probably more important than the 9-1 record. We qualified for the 8th straight year for the state championship, which is very difficult to do. It's not an automatic. Only 12 this year was 12 Class A schools qualified, and we play in a real difficult division. We actually won our division, and we ended up 4th in the state overall, but the kids really do a nice job of representing the town, their school and their families in a great manner. And very proud of this group. And we're looking for great things from the kids coming up next year, but the seniors who are going on, they're going to be very successful in everything whatever they encounter, just great quality kids. So I want to thank you guys, the administration, for allowing me to coach again, and hope I'm back next year. So thank you.
Coach Bennett is here for girls soccer.
Hello, thank you for having all of us here. I really appreciate it. I'm Doug Bennett. I'm the assistant varsity coach. We have a good year. I'm the assistant varsity coach, not so good. I'm the JV coach, and that's not my fault. I'm not playing well, but Coach Farley can't be here. He's in Florida right now. So I also recognize Natalie Bildo and Gwen Diaz, two of our captains. Should I have them stand up? Come stand with me? What should I do? Why don't you guys come stand up with me? And so at least you're here for a reason, you know? So
Get on camera.
get on camera. Yeah, absolutely. Better than me being on camera alone. We had another outstanding season this year. Our record was 12-2-2. We finished fourth in the heel points and won our first playoff game, and unfortunately lost to the next round. But it was a fantastic season, especially after. Oh, they're zooming out on us. You can see in both cameras. That's, oh my God, that's a little distracting. So thank you, guy in the back room. Hope I wasn't trying to say. Oh, it was a fantastic season, especially after last year. I always kind of viewed last year as surviving soccer. This year, I think we started thriving with soccer again. Really, these young ladies and the rest of the girls in the program really restored my faith and love in coaching, and it was a great year. And I just want to thank all of them as well. So I want to thank Mr. Legage, anybody else in the athletic office, and the boosters, and everybody who's a part of the program and all of our success. And well, these young ladies are certainly unfortunately done playing soccer. I know they're the impact they're going to have on the world is just beginning, because they're fantastic human beings besides being really good soccer players. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Hey, no, thank you.
And Coach Wakeham with boys soccer.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us. I'd like to introduce Reed Deniso, one of our senior leaders, filling in for Mark Diaz tonight. Our overall record this year was 13-3. We finished second in the SMAA, probably the toughest conference in the state, to be honest. Our team only gave up 7 goals all season. We made it to the second round of the playoffs, where we lost after 2 overtimes and 2 rounds of penalty kicks. That was tough. We were led by a strong group of seniors. I think we had around 15 seniors, Reed being one of them. Our 2 captains were Xander Haskell and Nick Conley. We had 2 all-state selections, 4 all-conference selections, and 9 academic all-star selections for our conference. So not only were they great players on the field, but they're great in the classroom, great group of kids. We're going to miss our seniors, but it was just nice to get back to normalcy and compete on the field. Thank you for your time.
And Coach Phillips with cheering.
Hello, my name is Tanya Phillips, and I am the head cheer coach for both the fall and winter seasons. I also have here with me our assistant coach, Sarah Menahan, and our 2 senior captains, Riley Shea and Christina Karen. Our season this past fall looked a little bit different for us. We unfortunately did not pull the participation numbers we were hoping for. So with the help and guidance of our athletic department, we tried to consider a different approach for this season and how best to create a good experience for our kids. So we ultimately decided to forego cheering sideline. So what that meant for us is we decided to practice once a week and work on our skill building. And that also gave us the opportunity to really invest and work with our our Scarborough Youth Cheer program. So our 3 team members worked with our pre-K through 2nd grade group. And I myself also took on a director role and a coaching role with our middle school aged group to really try and invest in hopefully retaining them once they do get up to the high school age. And then they also had the opportunity to cheer sideline at the varsity football homecoming game. So that was a really fun experience for our youth as well as our high school kids. It sparked a lot of passion and excitement. So hopefully we will retain that and keep them up through high school. So although it was non-traditional for us, we still had a lot of fun. And our 3 athletes showed a lot of resilience and passion and really stuck with it. So we have 2 awesome leaders. They did a great job this season. So I can't thank them enough, and our athletic department for helping guide us through this non-traditional season. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Coach Manning with field hockey.
Hi, I'm Lisa Manning. I am the JV and assistant varsity coach for the field hockey team. Coach Mariello unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but we do have 2 of our seniors here, Erin Bresnahan and Lil Findley. I'm just going to read the page that Carrie Mariello sent for me to read on her perspective on the season. So let me put my eyes on. Scarborough field hockey from a talent perspective had it all this season. A strong goalkeeper, the toughest defensive group in the league, a crafty and tactical midfield, and an offensive group who had pace, skill, and a relentless mindset. The only thing we needed was to figure out how best to play with each other and for each other. As the season went on, the girls gained confidence, both in themselves and in each other, and that became unwavering. Hard work, a commitment to the task at hand, and a strong belief in the power of we allowed these girls to accomplish so much. This team as a whole maximized every aspect and gave everything they had, which is all a coach could ask for. Some of the highlights from this season include the following: an overall record of 16-2, with both losses coming from the same team by 1 goal each game. 14 of those wins were shutouts. They, the girls, outscored their opponents 69-5, and that came from 22 players out of 26 scoring goals. They earned a right to play in the regional final game, something that hadn't been done since 2014. The statistics are all amazing, but the true highlights from this team were all the laughs, seeing the high fives after big plays, the celebrations after goals, the hugs from family members after games, hearing the cheers from the sideline, team sing-alongs on the bus rides, pre-game dances in the locker room, and a trip to college game, and the tribute to the seniors on senior night. It was an incredible and highly memorable season, and we will miss the 11 seniors that we had on our team and 39 total players in the program. But we have a good group coming back, but these seniors will be missed. Thank you.
Coach Kelly with girls cross country.
I'd like to thank you for recognizing us. I'd also like to thank Smiling Hill Farm, where we have our home course. It's a great place, and the good thing is they don't charge us anything for using it, and it's a great place to run. I'd like to introduce the 3 seniors, Ava Gleason, Caroline Canazzi, and Lydia McDonald. And these young ladies, as far as I'm concerned, had a great atmosphere with the team. The kids were, respected each other. They were very close knit, and got along with each other all season long. It's probably one of the closest knit teams that we had. we're a very young team. My first three were two freshmen and a first-year runner. And throughout the season, they continued to improve with a lot of running and being first-year runners. Some of them had some injuries, shins, things like that, but they worked hard, continued to improve. We did improve as a team at the end of the year. And we did have a major highlight this year. We had a freshman, Rowan Driscoll, who, again, she battled with a growth plate problem in both heels. Eventually, end of the season, she got to be healthy and ended up finishing 25th in the state meet and 19th in the regional meet. And overall, she was actually ranked 45th amongst all the girls in the state. So very proud of the young ladies. A lot of them will be back. Hopefully there'll be a few more freshmen helping us next year. And we should be hopefully a team that will qualify for the state meet next year. Thank you for this time.
Coach Harmon with boys cross country.
Thank you for having us here. It's an honor. And I also like to thank the parents and of course the athletes for their dedication and commitment. And you can see one of them right behind me here. This is one of our senior captains, Zach Berry. Not only is he a senior captain, he's actually also the regional champion. So in our whole southern state, one of the best distance runners in the state, and he's came in 5th in the state meet also. 5th in the entire state when you combine all the results, and 5K is not even his specialty. So we'll hear more from him in indoor and outdoor track. I'd also like to thank, of course, I said the parents and the athletes, but the athletic administration at the school. These have been a trying couple of years here, and it's almost every week there's something that comes up, and our athletic department is right there with help, right there supporting you. And Mike, thank you so much. And Jordan and Heather too, thank you. Anyways, it was actually a good season. It's just, of course, here at Scarborough, we really do set the bar high. So we did not win the state championship. We knew it wouldn't be maybe our best year. We were hoping for maybe top 5 in the state. We actually came in 6th, so it wasn't too bad. Our regular season, we really had a very good season. We our totals 70 out of 75 invitational meets, of all our invitational meets, we beat 75 teams. They can combine them all together. So unlike other sports, we can actually compete against 60 teams at once. So in our invitational meets, we beat 75 teams, lost to 13, so not quite perfect. Preseason, our regular season in the SMAA, we did beat 11 teams, bested 11, lost to 2 teams. Regional championship meet, we did beat 10 teams, but we came in 7th overall. Again, Zach did win that meet, so that was a highlight there. But then we went on to the state meet, which usually it's even more competition, and it was, but the kids rallied back and we came in 6th, beating 4 teams that beat us at the regional championship meet. So that was a very good state meet, 6th place overall, which, like I said, we were thinking we would shoot for at least the top 5. So that was pretty good overall. When you combine the results at the state meet, out of about 80 teams in the state, high school boys teams, we came in 8th. So not perfect, but again, a very good year. Now, maybe one of the most impressive things about this season, we had 9 seniors. 7 of those 9 seniors were SMAA all academic athletes. So 7 out of 9. This is my 22nd year, I think, coaching here. And I think that's the best we've ever done as far as academics. So very impressive. And again, thank you all.
Coach Melia with football.
I'd like to just echo the thanks that all the other coaches have said for to the athletic administration. Me being a first-year head coach, they really helped me a lot throughout the year. Although it's my first year as a head coach, I have been coaching at Scarborough for 10 seasons. This year, record-wise, doesn't look like it was a super year on the whole, but I think for what we went through as a team, the adversity these guys overcame. We lost a couple games early that were very close. We went on a 3-game winning streak. We unfortunately lost a couple games due to illness. But when we finally got back to playing, we got most of our team back as healthy as we were all year. We rolled into the playoffs and avenged one of our losses by beating a team 40-14 that we lost to by a point earlier in the year. We unfortunately lost the next week, but we held the current #1 team in the state to their lowest point total of the year, gave them easily their toughest game, and the scoreboard of 28-12 doesn't really indicate how close the game actually was. These are my senior captains here: Brady Reed, Jaden Flaker, Sam Remillart, and Andy Lancaster. I think these guys did a great job all year leading and kind of resetting the tone for what Scarborough football is all about after having a year off. I think football, especially taking a year off, is really, really tough. Most of the team, it was their first time on a varsity field. It's the first time, I think, in 10 years where that's been the situation. And these guys really, really helped overcome the adversity that we went through all year and kind of set the tone, like I said, and reset the track for Scarborough football for the future. So I'd like to thank these guys for everything they've done as well. Thank you.
Coach Stoddard for volleyball.
Thank you for having us tonight. I get to talk about my favorite topic, which is volleyball, but mostly Scarborough volleyball. And after playing outside a year ago, which was a first for me, and I've been doing this for a while now, it was great to be back in the gym, and we knew we were going to be ready to compete. And we certainly did that. We had a fantastic year. We ended up 16-2, and our final win of the season was the state championship match. So that was our goal all year, and it was a really fantastic way, especially for my senior captains. We have Gwen Dorsey, Madeline Strauss, and Beth Lefevre, just to be able to take those seniors and have a state championship in their final opportunity to play with Scarborough volleyball really means a lot to me and to the girls. So I also want to echo, thank you, Mr. Legage, for all of your support this year. It was a tough year, but it was very demanding, but it was such a fun season. We were ready to come back in after not really having much of a season, even though we had 2 of them last year. It was nice to come back and compete and have real playoffs this year. And when we walked into the gym in August, we had lower numbers, 23 in total with 8 seniors, but everyone was motivated and our captains really set the tone. It's the culture in Scarborough volleyball, inclusive and welcoming to all of the freshmen or any new players. That really is what we're looking to do, because it's more than the sport. It's easy to brag about the state championship, and when people ask about the season, that's what they want to talk about. But I want to talk about how much these girls care about each other and how much work they put in to build each other's confidence and build each other's trust. Because we had 8 seniors, and then we had 4 sophomores, 1 junior, and 1 freshman. And without a season last year, those sophomores were kind of brand new. So with 8 seniors and 4 sophomores, the majority of whom played, you have to really build that trust, because volleyball is very much a team sport. You can't just go in and one person isn't going to win a game for you. So everyone had to figure out how to work together, and we just continued to work at it. And every day we came in and focused on staying positive and working with each other. And so to be able to pull that state championship off after, I didn't realize it, but it was like a 2.5-hour match. It was the longest volleyball match I've ever been a part of, in a very loud and very warm Biddeford gym. So it was fantastic to be able to pull that off and it came down to the final point there at the end. So it was fantastic, and I could keep going. But thank you for giving me the chance to brag about these kids a little bit tonight. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's all of our fall programs, and I can't tell you how proud I am of our coaches and our student athletes. And I think you heard a little bit about winning and losing, but what you mostly heard about tonight is educational-based athletics and the philosophy around that. And so it's everybody did a great job. It has been a difficult few years, but with all the coaches' help and the students' support, we got through those COVID things and continue to do that into the winter season and beyond, I'm sure, as well. So I want to give a round of applause to our volleyball state championship, but also to all of our teams who did so well this year under challenging circumstances. That is it for us. Thank you very much for having us. Questions or anything?
Thank you, Mike. Does anybody have comments or questions?
It was so nice to see them back out. So thank you for all of your work to make sure that they were playing, and it was just really, it was really impactful, I think, to see them this year after not having seen them, and to see the relationships form and realize how much extracurriculars mean to our community in general. I mean, it was just great to see the community back together again. And you guys should all be proud of yourself for everything that you've accomplished. And I know you've made your town proud. So thank you.
Alicia? Any other comments? Well, you should all, I'm going to echo Alicia, you should all be incredibly proud of yourselves. That's quite a list of accomplishments from everybody. So I think I speak for everybody confidently when I tell you congratulations. That's an amazing, amazing seasons. Thank you for joining us tonight and for sharing your accomplishments with us. All right. We are going to continue, and we would love for you to stay, but if you don't want to hear the rest of our business meeting, this would be your this would be your opportunity to get up. So I'll give you a minute.
It's real exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we will continue on. Agenda item 6.0 is public comment on agenda items. Is there anyone wishing to make public comments this evening? No? No? Okay, not seeing any. I will go ahead and close public comments. Agenda item 7.0 is new business. 7.1 is the school board committee assignments. We will go through fairly quickly. I do have there we go. We do have a slide deck. So everything's in here. I won't read it word for word, but essentially, for anybody watching that's wondering what this means, these are the assignments that the board members would take on in addition to our twice a month business meeting. They have other committee assignments as well that meet. So our first committee is finance. That is the fiscal management and budgetary committee of the board. So chairing that this year will be Jenna Leong, and joining her will be Leanne and Kristen. Negotiations committee is responsible for the collective bargaining between the board and the union, the education union. They negotiate contracts, and they also negotiate any other issues that present itself to the board. So chairing that committee is Alicia Giftos with Leanne and Kristen. The policy review committee reviews, develops, and recommends changes to our policies that we follow as the board. Chairing that will be Leanne Casalonis, and joining her will be Alicia and myself. Outreach and communication. This is the group or the committee that really develops the communication strategy that we're going to use as a board. So communicating our district news, upcoming events, really is the maintains that arm between the district and the public. So chairing that committee is going to be Jillian Trapani Huff, and then joining her will be Leanne and Jenna Leong, but also she will have Gabby Giftus as the student representative joining her. All right, and then the long range facilities planning team. This is the committee that oversees the long range facility planning for the district. So looking at enrollment projections, any program needs that the district has, health and safety of our facilities, and looking at any recommended changes that we need to make as a board. So chairing this one will be Kristen Turner, and then joining her will be Alicia Giftos and John Keller. Curriculum committee collaborates with our director of curriculum and really looks at formulating the assessment, the curriculum and the assessment plan for the district. And they also communicate the K through 12 curriculum guide externally to the public. So chairing this will be John Kelleher. Joining him will be Jenna and Jillian. And then additionally, the student representative, Yulia, will join this committee as well. And then we have Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. This committee collaborates with the Mid-Atlantic Equity Consortium, promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion for all individuals in the district. So chairing that will be Alicia, and then joining Alicia will be John Kelleher. And last, but certainly not least, is our Building Steering Committee. This is more of a long-term assignment that we have from the board. We put 2 board members on this committee. They are responsible for determining the mitigation strategy for our K through 2 buildings. Joining that committee from our board will be Jillian and Kristen Turner. And then in addition to our committee roles, we also have liaison roles that we all hold within the district, and then also within our partners within Scarborough. So the legislative liaison will be Leanne Casalonis. The vocational liaison will be John Kelleher. Teacher evaluation will also be John. Town council will be Kristen Turner. The charter committee will be Leanne Casalonis. Health, safety, and advisory team will be Jillian Trapani Huff. Comprehensive needs assessment will be Jenna Leong. Dropout prevention is also Jenna. The pre-K task force is Jillian Trapani Huff, and I will take the transportation bus safety. All right, so are there any questions about roles or responsibilities? All right. Well, I thank you in advance for all the work you're gonna get ready to do.
It's getting real.
That's right. And I know we talked yesterday at our, we had a new board member orientation. We spoke about having little micro lessons. So that's something we'll definitely start doing. But congratulations, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do. All right. So moving on, we have our new item 7.2, which is our staff vaccine update. So I will turn this over to you, Jeff.
Great, thank you. I wanted to just take a few minutes to keep the board informed about staff vaccination rates by school. So I've talked about this in a couple of previous meetings early in the fall. So starting in September of the fall, the Department of Education has been requiring districts to submit staff vaccination rate data, which we have been collecting through anonymous surveys, and then also staff who fill out a form and then also present their vaccination status and proof of vaccination. So, and this is also within the backdrop of possible OSHA regulations that have not yet been officially implemented, requiring staff to either be vaccinated or to conduct weekly testing. should they choose not to get vaccinated. That, however, has not been implemented yet and is going through the federal courts actually as we speak. But as far as staff vaccination rates, the percentage that's reported at DHHS is also inclusive of those who have either not yet responded to the survey and provided their vaccination status or chose not to disclose. So if on this slide, the far right column represents the percentage reported to DHHS as vaccinated. So there's been some questions, and these numbers are provided on the main CDC website for any school district to search. So, parents who have been, there have been some parents or some community members who have been on the main CDC site and looked up Scarborough and have seen the percentage of staff vaccinated by school on that far right-hand column. That's what's searchable through the state database. And that number is reported and that percentage is reported every month and will continue to get updated every month. Now, while we can't mandate our staff to respond to the survey, we do have some variability in terms of who has responded and who hasn't. So if you look in this first column, total staff, it gives you the total staff numbers at each school, Blue Point, all the way down through the high school. And then the number of staff who are still unknown, who have either not responded yet or did not disclose. And then right next to that is the overall survey response. So Blue Point, 90%, Eight Corners, 64%, Pleasant Hill, 90%, Wentworth, 66, middle school, 77, high school, 73, district-wide, we're at 86%. Oh, no, I'm sorry, district-wide, the total average is 75.46%. We've heard from out of the total of which is 599 staff. So out of those who have reported, 448 reported they are fully vaccinated, and 4 have reported, respondents have reported that they're not fully vaccinated. So when you look at just the people who have responded to the survey, it's pretty close to 100%. So it's a little over 99%. We still do not know about 147 employees that spread across the, but that at least explains why the percentages, when you look at the main CDC site, don't accurately reflect actually what the true percentage is, which we still don't know. I would be surprised if all of the 147 that have not yet responded none of them are vaccinated. That would be a big surprise to me. So the number is, we believe, significantly higher than what's being reported on the main CDC site. So that's just some clarification that I've communicated and sent out to some parents, and then wanted to share with the board this evening. And I'm going to plan to share these numbers with the public on the website as well. So questions about the staff vaccination rates? And I just wanted to really thank Kate Bolton for putting all these numbers together. Staff at central office is tracking all of these things, and we're obviously working closely with all of our employees too. If these OSHA regulations become real and law, then it's obviously we've got continuing a lot of work to do in order to meet those requirements. So.
Thank you, Jeff. Any questions or comments? No? All right. Thank you so much for that update. All right. I am going to bundle, so it would be 7.3, the second reading of policy BED, remote participation in school board meetings. 7.4, second reading of policy BCC, nepotism. 7.5, second reading of policy BCB, board member conflict of interest. 7.6, second reading of policy GBGB workplace bullying. And 7.7, second reading of policy IHBAC child find. Do I have a motion?
I'll move for the approval.
Second. Any discussion? Okay, I think we're ready to vote.
Great. Mrs. Giftis,
Yes.
Ms. Castellanos,
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher,
Yes.
Ms. Leong,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Trapani Huff,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Giftis,
Yes.
and Ms. Bertulia.
Yes.
Right. Very good. I'm also going to bundle 7.8, the meeting minutes from the business meeting of October 7th, 2021. 7.9, the meeting minutes of a special meeting on October 12th, 2021. 7.10, meeting minutes of October 21st, 2021. And 7.11, the meeting minutes from the business meeting of November 4th, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Perfect. Any discussion? Okay, I think we're ready to vote.
Mrs. Giftis,
Yes.
Ms. Castellanos.
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher,
Yes.
Ms. Leong,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Trapani Huff,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Giftis,
Yes.
and Ms. Bertulia.
Very good, thank you. All right, so 7.12 is the Blue Point School donation. I'm trying to start you, Jeff.
We have two donations. The first, Blue Point Primary School, and this is an ongoing donation through Hannaford Helps Schools, partnership with Hannaford's, in the amount of $582 for the Blue Point Primary School. And then there's also a second one, also through Hannaford Helps, in the amount of $1,137 for Scarborough Middle School.
That's wonderful. Do I have a motion to approve both the Blue Point School and the middle school donations?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, we're ready to-
Mrs. Giftis,
Yes.
Ms. Castellanos,
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher,
Yes.
Ms. Leong,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Trapani Huff,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Giftis,
Yes.
and Ms. Bertulia.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Generosity. All right, so 7.14 is our appointments. 7.14.1 is our Wentworth School Interim Assistant Principal.
All right, well, I'd like to start with, we'd like to introduce Karen Walker, who's been chosen to fill this position created by a realignment. Ms. Walker received her Bachelor's of Science degree from the University of Maine in Orono. She received her master's degree in educational leadership from the University of Southern Maine. She has been a primary school teacher, started as a primary school teacher at Jamison Elementary School in Old Orchard Beach from 1990 to 2014. And then in 2014, she was hired as the literacy instructional coach at Wentworth. And so we would love to give her an opportunity perhaps to say a few words if she would like. Karen?
Hi, everyone. I want to thank you for providing me the opportunity to be part of the leadership team. I am excited and I'm honored. I look forward to continuing to support our staff, our teachers, our students and parents, as we all strive to maintain a positive learning environment. So thank you for that opportunity.
We just had, just a quick note, I mean, both Diane and Kelly were intimately involved too in putting together our search committee. And then also, we had such a deep pool and Karen just crushed it, rose to the top, and we're, feel so fortunate to have her in this position. So very excited to be able to nominate her.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the Wentworth School Interim Assistant Principal?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All right, I think we're ready.
Mrs. Giftis,
Yes.
Ms. Castellanos,
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher,
Yes.
Ms. Leong,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Trapani Huff,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Giftis,
Yes.
and Ms. Bertilia.
Congratulations. All right, 7.14.2 is the high school computer science and STEM teacher.
Yeah, so Allison Avery has been selected to fill this position, which is created by resignation. So Ms. Avery received her Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education from the University of Maine at Arno. She's been a math and computer science teacher in school districts in Florida, Alabama, and for the last 3 years in Lewiston. She's also worked with the Maine DOE to develop a universal statewide computer science education plan. So we're very excited to bring her on board. It's always tricky, mid-year positions like this, but we're excited to bring her to the high school.
Good. All right, do I have a motion to approve the high school computer science STEM teacher?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, I think we're good.
Mrs. Giftis,
Yes.
Ms. Castellanos.
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher,
Yes.
Ms. Leong,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Trapani Huff,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Giftis,
Yes.
and Ms. Bertilia.
Congratulations. All right, 7.14.3 is the middle school winter one coaches.
Right, so we, as you can probably understand, after we just had our fall recognition for athletics, we've got a whole lot of names here. So the coaching and co-curricular appointments, as identified in the materials, the winter one coaches roster, and then the winter coaches roster, 2021 and 2022, and as well as our Scarborough High School co-curricular freshman class advisor, and then the Gym Dandies instructor.
So do I have a motion to approve the middle school winter coaches, the high school winter coaches, the high school co-curriculars, and the Gym Dandies as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mrs. Giftis,
Yes.
Ms. Castellanos,
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher,
Yes.
Ms. Leong,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Trapani Huff,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Giftis,
Yes.
and Ms. Bertilia.
Right. One point of order, when we read the committees, we did not vote, which has been our practice. So I think perhaps we should go back and go through the proper channels for the committee assignments.
Yeah.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the school board committee assignments as presented?
So moved.
Second. Perfect. Any discussion? All right.
Mrs. Giftis,
Yes.
Ms. Castellanos,
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher,
Yes.
Ms. Leong,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Trapani Huff,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Giftis,
Yes.
and Ms. Bertilia.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that. All right, agenda item 8.0 is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, I think we're ready.
Mrs. Giftis,
Yes.
Ms. Castellanos.
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher,
Yes.
Ms. Leong,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Trapani Huff,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Giftis,
Yes.
and Ms. Bertilia.
All right, thank you so much and have a lovely evening.